Nigeria maybe now is the most dangerous country for Christians in the world.
Nigeria, known as the Giant of Africa, is the continent's biggest economy and largest democracy, with a population projected to become the world's third largest by 2050. It's also the world's largest mixed Muslim-Christian nation.
In Nigeria, we have, as a population, 210 million people. And I want to be precise, almost the 50% are Christians. And so Christians are Nigeria. Christians aren't guests.
A vibrant Nigeria could serve as a growth engine for the whole continent. A failed one would be a source of instability and violence. Nigeria has been in the news lately because of the recent elections. The country is at an inflection point, with over 60% of the population living in poverty, while security crises, including kidnapping and terrorism, have multiplied. Bola Tinubu, a political kingmaker, was declared the winner of the presidential election after a tight race marred by accusations of vote rigging and the lowest turnout ever recorded. One of the issues that weighed heavily during the elections was Boko Haram, a terrorist group responsible for the deaths of more than 75,000 Nigerians.
In the 2022, in Nigeria, 28 priests were kidnapped, and 3 of them were killed. And so it's unacceptable, the silence of the Western countries.
Boko Haram, which means Western education is forbidden, seeks to overthrow the current Nigerian government and replace it with a regime based on Islamic law. The group has repeatedly targeted secular schools, including the kidnapping of over 200 schoolgirls in 2014. Pope Francis recently met 2 victims of Boko Haram, 19-year-old Maria Joseph and 22-year-old Janada Markus, on March the 8th at his Wednesday general audience. Maria Joseph and Janada Markus were invited to Italy on behalf of Aid to the Church in Need, a pontifical foundation which supports Christian victims around the world. They hosted an encounter for the media with Janada and Maria called Listen Also to Their Cries, aimed at bringing attention to the suffering, persecution, and violence that many women face around the world. Janada and Maria both suffered greatly at the hands of Boko Haram. Witnessing the killing of family, Janada saw her father beheaded in front of her, killed because he refused to have sex with his daughter. Maria spent 9 years as a captive of the terror group. She saw her brother cut to pieces, while her sister is still in captivity. The importance of their faith during their period of captivity was instrumental in keeping them alive. This was something that was echoed in both testimonies. Janada Markus spoke about the importance of her mother praying for her during her period of captivity.
My faith, that time when that thing happened, like me, I even tell my mother that let us join them, but my mother didn't allow us to do. She used to pray every time for us. When we come out and I see that all the things that they are telling us is no good. Always their thing is like they turn it off. They will tell you to be a Christian is a bad thing, their own is a good one.
They were accompanied on their journey by Father Joseph Fidelis, a priest of the Diocese of Maiduguri in Borno State, Nigeria. Father Joseph is a trained psychologist and heads the Diocesan Trauma Center, where both women received psychological care to aid in their recovery.
I have seen so much suffering in their faces and experienced so much that they have gone through. Sometimes I feel devastated. All I do is go back to my small chapel and pray. But when I meet some suffering higher than my own, I say, Lord, help me. How do I help these people?
But there is hope for the girls. Janada Markus is back living at home with her mother and siblings, studying tropical medicine. Maria Joseph is in school, learning to read and write.
My people who suffer need someone to go alongside with them. And I think the Lord is there, even in our suffering, even more in our suffering, because He's always on the side of the marginalized, the afflicted, and the suffering.
As Janada and Maria head back to Nigeria, we keep them and all female victims of violence in our prayers.
Some days ago in Nigeria, there has been an election, and we want to hope, and we are praying about a change in the direction of the political approach, hoping in a guarantee of the safety for our brothers in the faith, because otherwise it's very difficult for them to remain there.